Lionhearts. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion, and we were supposed to spend our New Year's attending a time period New Year's Eve party at the Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald mansion in Montgomery, Alabama. Unfortunately, because of the rising COVID, they ended up having to cancel that, but they did say, we wanted to reserve the Zelda suite for you for the evening anyway. Do you want to come stay there and see it all decorated for Christmas? So that's what we're going to do. We're headed into Montgomery, Alabama, and we are going back to the Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald mansion. We're going to spend the night not in the Scott room. We've already done that once. If you want to see that video, go look up I slept in F. Scott Fitzgerald's house on my channel. But tonight we are sleeping in the Zelda suite. Daze with Jordan the Lion, it begins now. And today is a special Patreon sunglass vlog for Susan Beard. Susan, I hope you're an F. Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald fan. It was unfortunate that they had to cancel the party tonight, but I told them I'll be happy to come back and go to another event because I love F. Scott Fitzgerald's history and I'd love to see how they do it here. It was really cool of them to let us sleep here tonight. When they called to let me know that they were canceling it, I wasn't really that surprised because I had already seen the Flaming Lips had to cancel their New Year's Eve party as well, so this is what Alabama looks like in the winter. I'll take it. So they do have a pretty nice historical placard out front that tells you quite a bit about the time in this house. The Fitzgerald home, circa 1910, F. Scott Fitzgerald, his wife Zelda, and daughter Scotty lived in this house from October 31st to April 1932. During that period, Fitzgerald worked on his novel Tender as the Night, and Zelda began her only novel, Save Me the Waltz. Now once again, the belt is tight and we summon the proper expression of horror as we look back at our wasted youth. Sometimes, though, there is a ghostly rumble among the drums, an asthmatic whisper in the trombones, and it all seems rosy and romantic to us who were young then, because we will never feel quite so intensely about our surroundings anymore. From Echoes of the Jazz Age, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Then on the opposite side of the placard they have some of the writing that Zelda made while she was here, and it says, every place has its hours. So in Jeffersonville there existed then, and I suppose now, a time and quality that appertains to nowhere else. It began about 6:30 on an early summer night with the flicker and sputter of the corner streetlights going on, and it lasted until the great incandescent globes were black inside with moths and beetles, and the children were called into bed from the dusty streets. So here's the home, and Zelda was from this area. So she had a home that was also here in Montgomery that has been torn down. They did make attempts to save it, but it just far too gone in disrepair, and I believe they just couldn't get the city to take it over. I think that's what they were trying to do, but the bricks that they used to create this that commemorates Scott and Zelda, it says the site of paradise, the world's only Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald Museum. They belong to the world. The bricks constructing this memorial for them are from Zelda's home at 6 Pleasant Avenue when it was still here. Scott he had thought he was in love with people before, but Zelda she was unique in and to herself. People say she had this charisma in person that photographs couldn't capture, and this vibrance to her personality that just made you want to be alive or made you want to feel alive. And that's what he fell in love with. So they've decorated the house for Christmas, including some lights down here. So those will be on at night. We'll come out and I'll show you everything at night. Don't worry. But I want to show you the inside of my room because I have not brought our things in yet, but I have checked it out and it is magnificent. And I love that here in the trees by the benches they've put Christmas ornaments. You can see some of them here. So probably spend some time out here tonight. But let me take you up to the Zelda suite. And they had kept the whole place empty for me, so even the Scott room, which is over here, which I vlogged before, that's empty too, so I can also show that as well. But we're gonna go up here and check out this. The ground floor is the museum, and it's a wonderful museum, so I highly recommend, if you're in town, check their hours, make sure they're gonna be open, but you wanna come and check out this museum. And this is the original driveway. You would have entered right up here at the corner where the stop sign was. Rather narrow for the size of cars that people have now, but you would have driven right in through here, and you could have either went and parked around back, which is where, if you're staying here, they ask you to park back there. But if you were bringing things in, or if you were being a gentleman and picking up your wife and child at the front door, you could do it right up here, and then the driveway curves around again out to the street. Very classy, very time period and classy. And thank you, church bells. The single-family house was inhabited by F. Scott Fitzgerald from 1931 to 32, and afterwards it was subdivided into 4 apartments during the mid-30s. State Senator Silas Cater lived in apartment A, which is right there, from 1942 to 1977. Wow. Huh. State Senator. Saved from demolition in 1986 by Leslie and Julian McPhillips Jr., the house was given to them, or given by them, to the Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald Museum. So thank you, Phillips family. All right, up the stairs we go towards the Baz Luhrmann, Leonardo DiCaprio, Great Gatsby poster. I love it. Look what they did to the railing. And Carey Mulligan from the same movie. And one of the things, if you didn't see when I was here before, that they've done that's really cool, they've peeled back the paint and found original wallpaper. So you'll kind of see that in all the rooms. Just to give you an idea what they would have lived with. And there's the view outside the sitting room. Here you can just sit and read. Now, we stayed in that room once before, but I might show it again. Today, here we go. If you want to view paradise, simply look around. Yeah, take a look at this. We'll go pretty slow. It's beautiful in here. My first favorite touch was when you see this little sitting area. It has a pillow embroidered with a saying about Zelda. She refused to be bored, chiefly because she wasn't boring. And they've got a nice time period Underwood typewriter. Not period battleship. Some poker chips. But look at the details in this room. And then from the chair, we just walked in from this doorway. I love this. I love the rugs and everything. It's just, I came in early and turned on all the lights for you. And then check this out. This beautiful fireplace with stockings from who knows what era. They're beautiful. They're crocheted. has a very magical feel to this room, along with this beautiful picture of Zelda. Now, when I was here before, I thought, and I think I said in my video, that the F. Scott room was the more prestigious of the two, but it's actually this one. It's the Zelda room, because this one has 2 bedrooms. Nice glass coffee table here. And then they have a couple of pictures of the two. Scott and Zelda. So it's a pretty great looking living room. Even got some presents over here on the table. And they left me some gifts over here we'll take a look at in a little bit. So on the wall, some beautiful art. And I'm not positive, but it resembles the same type of art they have in the museum that Zelda painted herself. So it very well could be her own prints in here, because it certainly reminds me of what I saw when I was here. And then in this glass frame shadow box behind it, there are some letters to Scott from Zelda. Look at the angel on top. Now let's check out the rooms. I'm going to be sleeping in this room tonight. First off, killer chandelier. Wow. I like that. Kind of reminds me when I stayed at Oscar Wilde's death room. And I do remember the beds being very comfortable here, so I'm looking forward to it. Good night's sleep. Then this embroidered pillow says, "I wish I'd done everything on earth with you." One thing you'll notice that I noticed the last time I stayed here that I didn't think about originally when I was just staying here as a guest, keep in mind, no television. None of the rooms have television. Wouldn't have been very time period appropriate, so you will not find them here. But you have more letters to Scott from Zelda here in your room that you can read. And then when you stay in Scott's room, all the letters are to Zelda from Scott. So then we'll leave my room and we will go over to the second room. Two classy single beds there. Twin beds, I guess you'd call them. I like the curtains and stuff. They really do make you feel like you're back in time a little bit. I love it. I love what they've done here. And then something in me vibrates to a dusky, dreamy smell of dying moons and shadows. Zelda Fitzgerald. And then this one over here says, Those men think I'm purely decorative, and they're fools for not knowing better. And you have some stars painted on the walls. More of Zelda's art, I believe. And then that's the way that we came from the living room right there. But you probably want to see how small the bathrooms are for the time period, which they've redone the bathrooms, but I do remember last time I was here, the floor has a little bit of a lean to it in some places. And then smaller kitchen. Remember, they were converted into apartments for many years after the Fitzgeralds were gone, so not surprising to see that they still keep the top floor like that. And it's cool because you get the experience. If you want to come stay here, it's not expensive. It's actually, I remember when I stayed here, it was less than staying at a hotel in the area, and a whole lot more fun. New school refrigerator, can't fault them for that. Then our dining room, which I have to make mention the really cool light fixture up here. And then they have a old time radio over there and some of the historical figures from the area. Which that also, of course, leads you back into the front door where we came in. There's a little tea service here, tea setting. And then it looks like this sunroom they've turned into mostly a laundry room. Also handy for staying here as a guest. But you didn't lose the sunroom feel at all. In fact, they put a few decorations in here to enjoy it. Great job. Kind of sad to see that we won't get a New Year's party. Especially, I was so curious as to what it was going to be. You know, how do you do something like that? How do you do a 1920s, early 30s themed party? So they'll do it in the future. Beautiful place. So nice of them to invite me to stay here again. Jordan, these are a few gifts to commemorate your stay with us, the Fitz. Oh, these are great. Down in the gift shop, they don't sell like shirts and things like that, really. They have primarily things that they think that I think would have been more appropriate for the time period. So they make their own gift cards, and they make stationery and things like that that would be, you know, something to Scott's liking. So check that out, how great that is. Gonna hang that on my Christmas tree. And that picture of them in front of the house. And what's a Christmas without mistletoe? Gotta have the mistletoe. This is really cool. They have this frame sitting on the table in here. If you're looking for more information about the Fitzgeralds, there's a podcast you can check out, Zelda's Peaches and Biscuits. Now that we've pretty much seen everything inside the Zelda suite, why don't we go ahead and go check out the Scott suite and see how they've decorated that for Christmas. Okay guys, you're getting the VIP tour. Let's see this one now. I love this room to begin with. I just had so much fun staying here. You really feel at one with F. Scott when you're here, I think, in my opinion. Wow, this looks great. Let's turn the lights on here. I feel like we're losing some of the fun. Wow. And then the This is great. The stockings they have here have the profiles of Zelda and Scott. And yes, you do get a Christmas tree in here as well. A wonderful writing desk. If you're a writer, you can be inspired by looking out the same windows that he would have looked out while he was working on Tender is the Night, looking out at the street, right directly where we were out reading the sign is right there. And then that amazing wallpaper. See there, you can see where they've peeled back the painted area to expose what was originally there. I love that. An amazing rocking chair over there. If you need to give yourself a drink, nice Santa Claus over there. Get yourself a drink right there on the drink cart. And then in the hallways here, they have some of Scott's writing. That to me is just unbelievable. I love his style of writing. Some people are just naturally gifted at it, and he had to work at it. I mean, he would map out and outline what he was going to do for a book before he would start writing it, and then he would go over each sentence trying to find the most flowery, beautiful, interesting way of saying something that someone else hadn't said that way before, just something that was memorable. With affection, always, Scott. So here you can kind of see that slant I was telling about on the floor. I love it though. To me, that's part of the characteristics of staying in an old place, is you get cool things like that. And I stayed in this room last time, the green room. Yes, indeed, there is a green light in my eyes coming through the curtains. And then above his bed, or above this bed, you have letters. My darling Zelda. And then leaving Scott's room from the Scott suite. Show you this kitchenette and bathroom as well. The bathroom. And this is what they've redone, so a little bit more modern for you if you're staying here. This thing called love. And they have one of his essays from Esquire called The Crack Up, which is one of my favorites. I have the collection of stories, the book called The Crack Up, where he talks about basically feeling so much pressure on himself to always deliver and to always kind of be prolific and be a trendsetter kind of person. He just says in the end he realizes that all he's really trying to do is get people to love him and just to feel like that dog that's laying underneath the breakfast table just waiting for his head to be patted. So there you go. Now you've seen both of the suites here at the Fitzgerald mansion. So Susan, we put your sunglasses right there on the mantle of the fireplace, F. Scott's fireplace. You'd feel like you were here with us. All right, my friends. Doesn't look like they did any Christmas lights outside, so we will call it a night for now. but they're gonna open the museum tomorrow to show me how they decorated the museum for the party, or how they decorated the museum before they had to cancel the party. So good night, and I'll see you in 2 seconds. All right, the museum is now open. Take a look right in the gift shop here to the right. A couple of decorations there, and you have a tree right in here that looks great. How nice does that look? Scott and Zelda over here. Beautiful tree. Some of their actual clothing right here, and a couple of stockings for them. I can only imagine how incredible a party would have been here. I'm sure they'll do one in the future that we can come visit. How beautiful does that tree look? The happy couple. So since I'm just showing the decorations for now, I've made videos from here before, not only showing the rooms, but actually going through the museum. So if you're interested in what the museum contains, definitely go check those out, but make sure when you come through Montgomery that you check out the museum, because it's the only one in the world like it. Now into the other half. Oh, that looks great. How festive, right? Looks incredible. They named it the Fitz. My, what a party this would have been. Or what a party this will be in the future. They even have the fun pick opportunity over here. Scott's jacket from that photo right there. Beautiful picture of Zelda above the couch. Yeah, this looks incredible. They've done a great job. And then inside this room is where a lot of the Zelda artwork is. Some of Scott's toys from when he was a little kid. Family photos. And then this room is pretty much solely Zelda's art on the walls. Her own creations. Look, they've got a few nice decorations in here as well. The dress definitely goes with the season. Then right over here by this chair that Zelda used to sit in. And that, of course, is her art on the walls. And another Christmas display. This is an Airbnb year-round, so if you want this experience, and I believe the seeing the museum comes with your stay, look up the Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald, or just look up the Fitz. Alright, my friends, I hope you enjoyed our stay here at the Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald Museum and House. Big thank you, even though the party wasn't able to happen, to them for letting me stay here and spend our New Year's here. I want to thank Sean Sully and Adventures with the McGarry for becoming my newest Patreons. Thank you all for watching. Have a happy new year. And we'll see you all next time. Because we're going back to Atlanta. Goodbye.